on yes. Regularity, micro, glories of association has been sung by Vidura, and eagerness to hear has been expressed by Vidura. I want to hear about the devotional service. Please give me instructions. Till this point, the Guru does not give instructions. Shadi Mam Tvam Prapanna. Even Arjuna, when he said like that, then only Krishna gave instructions. He wants to know about Narayana, about the creator of the universe, that is, creator of the universe, how self sufficient Lord has created various natures, activities, forms, features, and the names of the different living creatures. That was the previous verse. Now, text 10, chapter 5, third canto. परावरेषां भगवन् व्रतानि श्रुतानि मे व्यासमुखादभीक्षणम् अतृप्तनो शुल्लसुखावहानां तेषां मृते कृष्णकथा मृतौघात् para 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 is not para because one goes in avaresham para higher avaresham of these lower Bhagavan, O my Lord, O Great One, Vratani, occupations, Shrutani, heard, may, by me, Vyasa, Mukhat, from the mouth, Abhikshanam, repeatedly, Atruptanuma, Atruptanuma, I am satisfied, little, Sukha, Avhana, that which causes happiness, Tesha, out of that, Rute, without, Krishna Katha talks about the personality of Godhead Lord Krishna, Amrita Oghat, from the nectar. So I have heard from the lower and the higher statuses, occupation, those who are in the different statuses, I have heard, repeatedly heard about, I have heard about, not from, about these higher and lower status from the mouth of Vyasa. I am quite satisfied with all these lesser subject matters and their happiness. Atrupta, atrupta noma. I am satisfied. But I am not satisfied with the nectar of topics about Krishna. I want to know more about Krishna. All these things Vyasa has described, lower status, higher status, what Vedas contain. They contain all these things, lower status, higher status, the different occupations. All these things I've heard. And their happiness also in what they are happy. So all material things I have heard and I am quite satisfied. But I am not satisfied with the nectar of topics about Krishna. I want to know more about Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha Amrita Oghat. It is the nectar. And I want to hear that. Okay. Arunari,
Hare Krishna. Text 10. Paravareshaam Bhagavan Vratani Shrutani me Vyasamukadabhikshnam Atrupnumashul Chulla Sukhavahanam Teshamrite Krishna Katamritauhat. Translation. O my Lord, I have repeatedly heard about these higher and lower statuses of human society from the mouth of Vyasadeva, and I am quite satisfied with all these lesser subject matters and their happiness. They have not satisfied me with the nectar of topics about Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because people are very much interested in hearing social and historical presentations, Srila Vyasadeva had compiled many books such as the Puranas and Mahabharata. These books are reading matter for the mass of people and they were compiled with a view to reviving their God consciousness, now forgotten in the conditional life of material existence. The real purpose of such literatures is not so much to present the topics of historical references, but to revive the people's sense of God consciousness. For example, Mahabharata is the history of the battle of Kurukshetra, and common people read it because it is full of topics regarding the social, political, and economic problems of human society. But factually, the most important part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, which is automatically taught to readers along with the historical narrations of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Vidura explained to Maitreya his position of being fully satiated with the knowledge of mundane social and political topics and having no more interest in them. He was anxious to hear transcendental topics regarding Lord Sri Krishna because there were insufficient topics directly concerning Krishna in the Puranas, Mahabharata, etc. He was not satisfied and wanted to know more about Krishna. Krishna Katha or topics regarding Krishna are transcendental, and there is no satiation in hearing such topics. Bhagavad Gita is important on account of its being Krishna Katha or speeches delivered by Lord Krishna. The story of the Battle of Kurukshetra may be interesting for the mass of people, but to a person like Vidura, who is highly advanced in devotional service, only Krishna Katha and that which is dovetailed with Krishna Katha is interesting. Vidura wanted to hear of everything from Maitreya, and so he inquired from him, but he desired that all the topics be in relationship with Krishna. As fire is never satisfied in its consumption of firewood, so a pure devotee of the Lord never hears enough about Krishna. Historical events and other narrations concerning social and political incidents all become transcendental as soon as they are in relationship with Krishna. That is the way to transform mundane things into spiritual identity. The whole world can be transformed into Vaikuntha if all worldly activities are dovetailed with Krishna Katha. There are two important Krishna Kathas current in the world: Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Katha because it is spoken by Krishna, whereas Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha because it narrates about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya advised all his disciples to preach Krishna Katha all over the world without discrimination because the transcendental value of Krishna Katha can purify one and all from the material contamination. Hare Krishna.
कर्तृत्नुयातीर्थपदोभिधाना तत्रेषु भसूरिभिरीड्यमाना यः कर्णनाड्यन् पुरुषस्य यातो भवप्रदां गेहरतिं छिन्नति कः who is that man trupnuyat that can be satisfied tirthapadaha whose lotus feet are all the places of pilgrimage abhidhanat abhidhanat from the talks of Satreshu in human society, Vaha, one who is, Surivihi, by great devotees, Idyamana, one who is so worshipped, Yaha, who, Karnanadin, in the holes of the ears, Purushasya, of a man, Yataha, entering, Bhava Pradanam, Bhava Pradam, that which awards births and deaths, Geharatim, family affection, Chinnati is cut off. Who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage and is worshipped by great sages and devotees? Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by hearing the holes of by entering the holes of one's ears. So who will be satisfied? Without hearing, there is no satisfaction. Nivrutta Tarshe Rupakya Magiyana Bhavaushada Shloka Manovirat. Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada.
Hmm.
Viracheta Vina Pashuddha. Those who are animalistic, those who want to slaughter their own self, only they are not interested in Krishna Katha. That means they are not interested, they are not satisfied also. They have animalistic tendency. So topics about Krishna can remove one's bondage and bondage to family affection. Just by entering from the holes, there is a power. Bindu read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Time will not join.
Text 11,
12.
12,
11,
question
11. 11.
11,
11 Mataji.
text 11. Kaskrupnyatiptapadobhidanaत् तत्रेषु वः शूरुभिर्यमानात् यः कारणनाडिं पुरुषस्य यातो भव प्रदां गेहे रतिं सिनाति. Translation: Who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipped by great sages and devotees? Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ears. Purport: Krishna Katha is so powerful that simply by entering into a person's ear, it can at once give deliverance from the bondage of family affection. Family affection is an illusory manifestation of the external energy, and it is the only impetus for all mundane activities. As long as there is mundane activity and the mind is absorbed in such engagement, one has to undergo the repetition of birth and death in the current material nuisance. People are most influenced by the mode of ignorance, and some are influenced by the passionate mode of material nature, and undergo the spell of these two modes. A living being is actuated by the material conception of life. The mundane qualities do not allow a living entity to understand his real position. The qualities of both ignorance and passion strongly bind one to the illusory bodily conception of the self. The best among the fools who are thus deluded are those who engage in altruistic activities under the spell of the material mode of passion. Bhagavad Gita, which is direct Krishna Katha, gives humanity the elementary lesson that the body is perishable and the consciousness which is spread throughout the body is imperishable. The consciousness being the imperishable self is eternally existent and cannot be killed under any circumstances, even after the dissolution of the body. Anyone who misunderstands this perishable body to be the self and who works for it in the name of sociology, politics, philanthropy, altruism, nationalism, or internationalism under the false plea of the bodily conception of life is certainly a fool and does not know the implications of reality and reality. Some of them are above the modes of ignorance and passion and are situated in mode of goodness. But mundane goodness is always contaminated by tinges of ignorance and passion. Mundane goodness can enlighten one that the body and the self are mundane goodness can enlighten one that the body and the self are different, and one in goodness is concerned with the self and not the body. But due to being contaminated, those in mundane goodness cannot understand the real nature of the self as a person. Their impersonal conception of the self as distinct from the body keeps them in the mode of goodness within material nature. And unless they are attracted by Krishna Katha, they will never be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Krishna Katha is the only remedy for all people of the world because
It can situate one in pure consciousness of the self and liberate one from material bondage. To preach Krishna Katha all over the world, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, is the greatest missionary activity, and all sensible men and women in the world may join in this great movement started by Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna.
Twelfth verse. मुनिर् विवक्षुर्भगवद्गुणानां सखापि ते भारतमाह कृष्णः यस्मिन् नृणां ग्राम्यसुखानुवादै मतिर्गृहीतानु हरे कथायाम्. Muni, the sage, Vivakshu, described Bhagavat of the personality of God. Gunana, transcendental qualities. Sakha, friend. Api, also. Te, your. Bharatam, the Mahabharata. Ah has described Krishna, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Yasmin, in which Nunam, of the people. Gramya, worldly. Sukha Anu Vadai, pleasure derived from mundane topics. Mati, attention. Gruhitanu, just to draw towards Hare of the Lord. Kathayam, speeches of Bhagavad Gita. Your friend, the great sage Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, has already described the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw the attention of the mass of people to Krishna Katha, that is Bhagavad Gita, through their affinity for hearing mundane topics. So draw their attention. They have so much of affinity to hear mundane topics, draw their attention towards Bhagavad Gita. So your friend now here, Maitriya's friend is Vyasa. And Vidura says your friend has already described qualities of Lord in Mahabharata. And Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. And people should know about Bhagavad Gita. That is why Vidura wanted to understand the transcendental topics from Maitreya. He says, I am not satiated, though I have heard many times, but still I want to hear the transcendental topics. That is why Bhagavad Gita should be heard again and again and again. We have started this Friday class. Why don't you all join Friday? Bhagavad Gita class. The moment we say, I know that it's not good, everybody should learn again Bhagavad Gita. Speaking again about Bhagavad Bade Prabhu, everybody should join 7 to 8. We have this online Bhagavad Gita class. Again, what is the second topic that started now? Second chapter. Again and again hearing will only refresh us more and more. And Gyandi Prabhu, you should see that Kashinath Ganikar Hall class, everybody should be called, each and every one. On this Sunday, we are going to start the diploma course. Don't say diploma course, just say Bhagavad Gita class. Okay? Diploma course,
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
mention
Yes, Mati.
diploma, degree, and all those things. You can mention diploma and make them come, everybody. Because this is the eagerness, even because of that, even we can also hear again. When I am speaking again, I am hearing. It is refreshing ourselves. Okay. Read 12th one, Gyandi Prabhu. Read.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 3.5.12. Munir Vivakchur Bhagavat Gulanam Sakhapite Bharat Maha Krishna Yasminnam Gramme Sukhanuvade Matir Hita Nahare Kathayam. Translation. Your friend, the great sage Krishna Dwayapaya Vyas has already described the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw the attention of the mass of people to Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, through their strong affinity for hearing mundane topics. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Krishna Dwapaya Vyas is the author of all Vedic literature, of which his works Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Mahabharata are very popular readings. As stated in Bhagavatam 1.4.25, Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Mahabharata for the less intelligent class of men who take more interest in mundane topics than in the philosophy of life. The Vedanta Sutra was compiled for persons already above the mundane topics who might already have tasted the bitterness of the so-called happiness of mundane affairs. The first aphorism of Vedanta Sutra is Atho to Brahma Jigyasa, that is, one only when one has finished the business of mundane inquiries in the marketplace of sense gratification can one make relevant inquiries regarding Brahman, the transcendence. Those persons who are busy with the mundane inquiries which fill the newspapers and other such literature are classified as Sri Sudra Dvaja Bandhus, or women, the labor class and unworthy sons of the higher classes, Brahman, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Such less intelligent men cannot understand the purpose of Vedanta Sutra, although they may make a show of studying the sutras in the perverted way. The real purpose of Vedanta Sutra is explained by the author himself in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and anyone trying to understand Vedanta Sutra without reference to Srimad Bhagavatam is certainly misguided. Such misguided persons who are interested in the mundane affairs of philanthropic and altruistic work under the misconception of the body as the self would better take advantage of the Mahabharata, which was specifically compiled by Srila Vyasadeva for their benefit. The great author has compiled the Mahabharata in such a way that the less intelligent class of men who are more interested in mundane topics may read the Mahabharata with great relish, and in the course of such mundane happiness can also take advantage of Bhagavad Gita, the preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavatam or the Vedanta Sutra. Srila Vyasadeva had no interest in writing a history of mundane activities other than give less intelligent person a chance for transcendental realization through Bhagavad Gita. Vidura reference to the Mahabharata indicates that he had heard of the Mahabharata from Vyasadeva, his real father, while he was away from home and was touring the places of pilgrimage. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the service.
श्रद्धधानस्य विवर्धमान मन्यत्र करोति पुंसा हरे पदानुस्मृति निवृतस्य समस्त दुःखाप्ययमाशु धत्ते सा श्रद्धधानस्य. Those topics of Krishna or Krishna Katha, Shraddha of one who is anxious to hear, Vivardhamana, gradually increasing, Viraktim, indifference, Anyatraha, in other things than such topics. Karoti, thus Pumsaha, of one who is so engaged, Hare, of the Lord, Pada Anusmriti, constant remembrance of the lotus feet of the Lord, Nivritasya, of one who has achieved such transcendental bliss, Samasta Dukkha, all miseries, Apyayam, vanquished, Ashu, without delay, Tatte, excellence. So for one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. So one who is interested in Krishna Katha is not eager to hear any other mundane things. Such constant remembrance of the Lord by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. So constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord and constantly hearing about Krishna Katha satisfies a person. That is why he is not interested in any other mundane things. Okay, Rakshana Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. Shloka 13. Sashraddhanasya vivirdhamana viraktiman मनन्त्यत्र करोति
अन्यत्र
पुंसः
अन्यत्र
विरक्तिमन्यत्र करोति पुंसः हरे पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य
निवृतस्य is
समस्तदुःखा
not there. It is not nivritasya. Nivritasya.
निवृत्तस्य ओके हरे
Some
पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य
where
सम
ni you are putting, ni you are putting. Hare padano smriti nivritasya. Hare
हरे
padano smriti
पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य
nivritasya. Samasta dukkha
समासु धत्ते Mataji, one more time, may I read?
Dirgha Rasva. Take care.
हाँ
Changes the meaning. Dirgha Rasva.
शाश्वतधानस्य विवर्तमाना विरक्तिमन्यत्र करोति पुंसः हरे पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य
Hey,
सम
me Smriti Nivritasya.
स्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य हरे पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य समदुःखाप्ययमासु धत्ते
No. Hare Padano Smriti Nivritasya. Why are you saying me? The moment you take, you chant, Aruna,
मगर माता जी संस्कृत में जो भी श्लोक है संस्कृत में पढ़ती हूँ उसमें नी है लिखा है नी
नहीं
Nivritasya.
छोटा ही है, छोटा ही है रे।
हाँ हाँ
Dirgha nahi.
हरे
सश्रद्धानस्य
Wait, Aruna read.
विवर्धमाना
हरे पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य
Aruna
अभी
read.
बेटा मेरे माता जी
बराबर. Alternate. Aruna read. Aruna read.
सश्रद्धानस्य विवर्धमाना विरक्तिमन्यत्र करोति पुंसः हरे पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य समस्तदुःखाप्ययमाशु धत्ते।
Okay. अभी
हरे
पढ़िए आगे.
ओके माता जी
पदानुस्मृतिनिवृत्तस्य।
हरे कृष्ण सॉरी माता ट्रांसलेशन For one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such a topic, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. Patpat by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. We must certainly know that one absolute plan Krishna Katha and Krishna are one and the same. The Lord is the absolute truth, and therefore His name, form, quality, etc., which are all understood to be Krishna Katha, are not different from Him. Bhagavad Gita, being spoken by the Lord, is as good as the Lord Himself. When a sincere devotee reads Bhagavad Gita, this is as good as seeing the Lord face to face in His personal presence. But this is not so for the mundane wrangler, all the potency of the Lord are there when one reads Bhagavad Gita, provided it is read in the way recommended the Gita by the Lord Himself. One cannot foolishly manufacture an interpretation of Bhagavad Gita and still bring about transcendental benefit. Anyone who tries to squeeze some artificial meaning of or interpretation from Bhagavad Gita for an ulterior motive is not Shraddhana Pumsaha. One engaged anxiously in bona fide hearing of Krishna Katha. Such a person cannot derive any benefit from reading Bhagavad Gita, however great a scholar he may be in the estimation of the layman. The Shraddhana or faithful devotee can actually derive all the benefit of Bhagavad Gita because by the omnipotency of the Lord, he achieves the transcendental bliss which vanquishes attachment and nullifies all commitment,
All
concomitant
concomitant material miseries.
concomitant material miseries. Only the devotee by his factual experience can understand the import of this verse spoken by Vidura. The pure devotee of the Lord enjoys life by the constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing Krishna Katha. For such a devotee, there is no such thing as material existence, and the much advertised bliss of Brahmananda is like a fig for the devotee who is in the midst of the transcendental ocean of bliss. Hare Krishna. Ma'am.
So liberation, Brahmananda, liberation is like a fig for the devotee who is in the midst of the transcendental ocean of bliss. So again and again, one should read Bhagavad Gita. One should keep a system that at least in a day we read 10 verses of Bhagavad Gita. We hear also, we read also. Let us start. Put in a group, Aruna. Let us start reading Bhagavad Gita also at home. We are hearing, but reading also. Self-study. So requesting all the devotees to write. Mataji has requested all the devotees to read 10 verses of Bhagavad Gita every day. We have 700 verses. In 2 months, you can complete the Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it? 2 months? 2 months. Again, restart. So by this, what happens is we are with Krishna. You have these lines here. You have these lines here. When you are reading Bhagavad Gita, you are with Krishna. Where is that line? Just in purport, now we read. Where it is. When a sincere devotee reads Bhagavad Gita, it is as good as seeing the Lord face to face in his personal presence. Just take the snapshot of this and put. So that is why 10 verses, I don't think it is a big thing. We can all read 10 verses every day without missing.
Yes,
2
Mataji.
months, 2 months, we should do that. Or you can do 11 verses also. That 11 verses means,
Mataji, which purpose? Which
how many become
purpose?
11 into 30? Yes, with purport. How much
Okay.
time it takes? Or if purport is very big, just read the verses. Verses, purport doesn't take more time. Even if purport is not read, at least translation, because many times if the person is read it, please translations. If purport is you have more time, if purport, less time, no problem, less time, just verses translation, verses translation. That much we can do. 11 verses or 12 verses. How much it
Yes,
becomes? 12
yes,
verses per day. 12 into 30 is how much? 360, 720. 12 verses. Just verses translation. 12 verses. Let us keep like that. Next time when we are studying, and we should join online class so that we are reading purport. On our own, translation, meaning, translation and the verses. So that even I'm going to start. We'll start it. So it will be good. It will be good for us because this line, Srila Prabhupada says, when a sincere devotee reads Bhagavad Gita, this is as good as seeing Lord face to face in his personal presence. And that is what is required. Tan shoshya, tan shoshyan, avidonu shoche. What a beautiful verse. Tan shoshya, shochyan, avidonu shoche. हरे कथाया विमुखानघेन शृणोति देवो निमिषस्तु येषाम् आयुर्वृथा वादगति स्मृतीनां तानो शोष्य शोच्य शोच्य pitiable shochyan. It is an anvashocya. What is that verse? What is that verse? Tell. Your what is that verse? 2.10, 2.11.
Ashocyan, Ashocyan,
Mashojasya. Same thing here, same thing here. Pitiable. Avidaha, ignorant. Anushoche, I pity. Hare, of the Lord. Thayam, the topics of Vimukhan, ours. Aghena, because of sinful activities. Shinoti, decaying. Deva, the Lord. Animishaha, eternal time. To but Yesham, of whom. Ayuh, duration of life. Vratha, uselessly. Vada, philosophical speculations, gati, ultimate goal, smriti, nam, of those following different rituals. O sage, persons who, because of their sinful activities, are averse to the topics of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of Bhagavad are pitied by the pitiable. And thus ignorant of the purpose of Mahabharata are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how the duration of life is spoiled by eternal time, while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goal of life, and different modes of rituals. So just see, sinful activities are there. Those who are averse, they are not interested in transcendence. They are ignorant about the goal of life. So that is why they are pitied by whom? Even the pitiable pity them. And why pitiable pity them? They pity each other. Oh, bichara hai. And then they are too much to social. It is written here. They involve too much in philosophical speculation. They involve theoretical goal of life, different modes of rituals. Ritualistic presentation is not acceptable. One has to be loving to Lord, not ritualistic. One should not be afraid, oh, I should be very ritualistic in my worship. No, one should have love for Krishna. It's more important. Concern for Krishna. And concern for Krishna, love for Krishna starts with nice chanting of the holy name, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam every day. So this system we have to follow now. Somehow, every day 12 verses. By our sincere and devotional service, we should progress because that is our ultimate goal of life. Somehow, this life should be our last life. So for that, we have some few years left. We all have reached now 50s, now 60s. So all of us should be serious now in devotional service. Now seriousness in devotional service is by reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavatam. We are anyhow doing it. And we should do it more seriously. Swadhyaya is also very much important. Every day one should study. Okay, Aruna, read this verse and this will be the last verse.
Hare Krishna. Text 14.
So this is not the last verse. We'll do 15th and 16th verse.
Tancho chesho tan tancho chesho cha navido nu shoche hare kataya vimukhana
Off your
Shinoti
video, your
devo
voice will come there.
nimishastu yesha mayurvrthava dagatismritinam.
Off your video, Aruna. Off your video,
Hare
that the
Krishna.
voice. Off your video. Or khich
Hare
ke
Krishna,
voice.
Mataji.
Off your video and now read. Translation, read. Translation.
Yeah. Translation. Who, because of their sinful activities, are averse to the topics of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical, ul- theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of ritual. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the modes of material nature, there are three kinds of relationships between human beings and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of ignorance and passion are averse to the existence of God, or else they formally accept the existence of God in the capacity of an order supplier. Above them, there are those who are in the mode of goodness. This second class of men believe the Supreme Brahman to be impersonal. They accept the cult of Bhakti, in which hearing of Krishna Katha is the first item, as means and not the end. Above them are those who are pure devotees. They are situated in the transcendental stage above the mode of material goodness. Such persons are decidedly convinced that the name, form, fame, qualities, etc., of the personality of Godhead are non different from one another on the absolute plane. For them, hearing of the topics of Krishna is equal to meeting with him face to face. According to this class of men who are situated in pure devotional service to the Lord, the highest goal of human life is Purushartha, devotional service to the Lord, the real mission of life. The impersonalist, because they engage in mental speculation and have no faith in personality of Godhead, have no business hearing the topics of Krishna. Such persons are pitiable for the first class pure devotees of the Lord. The pitiable impersonalists pity those who are influenced by the modes of ignorance and passion. They take pity on them both because both waste their most valuable time in the human form of life in false pursuits, sense enjoyment, and mental speculative presentations of different theories and goal of life. Hare Krishna.
Now 15th verse. तदस्य कौशारवशर्मदातु हरे कथामेव कथासु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय न कीर्तय तीर्थकीर्ते तदस्य कौशारव शर्म धातु हरे कथामेव कथासु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय न कीर्तय तीर्थकीर्ते तथा therefore asya his kausharava o Maitreya karma dhatu of one who awards good fortune hare of the Lord katham topics eva only kathasu of all topics saram the essence uddhrutya by quoting pushpebhya from the flowers eva like that artabandho O friend of the distressed, Shivaya, for welfare none of us. Kirtaya kindly describe Tirtha, pilgrimage, Kirte of glories, of glories. O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of the topics, of all topics, the topics of Krishna. The comparison is given. Topics about Krishna is like honey, which is collected by the bees from the flowers. Now, flowers have many things, but honey is the essence. So, topics, there are various topics, but topics of Krishna is the essence. Okay, Bindu read. Bindu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 15. तदस्य कौशारवशर्मदातुर् हरे कथामेव कथासु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय नः कीर्तय तीर्थकीर्ते. Translation. O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. Purport. There are many topics for different persons in different modes of material nature, but the essential topics are those in relationship with the Supreme Lord. Unfortunately, materially affected conditioned souls are all more or less averse to the topics of the Supreme Lord because some of them do not believe in the existence of God and some of them believe only in the impersonal feature of the Lord. In both cases, there is nothing for them to say of God. Both the non believers and the impersonalists deny the essence of all topics. Therefore, they engage in topics of relativity, relativity in various ways, either in sense gratification or in mental speculation. For the pure devotees like Vidura, the topics of both the mundaners and the mental speculators are useless in all respects. Thus, Vidura requested Maitreya to talk of the essence only, the talks of Krishna and nothing else. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Last one. 16. स विश्वजन्म स्थिति संयमार्थे कृतावतार प्रगृहीत शक्तिः चकार कर्माण्यति पुरुषाणि चकार कर्माण्यति पुरुषाणि ज्ञानीश्वर कीर्तयतानि भय्यम् स विश्वजन्म स्थिति संयमार्थे कृतावतार प्रगृहीत शक्तिः चकार कर्माण्यति पुरुषाणि ज्ञानेश्वर कीर्तयतानि मह्यम् सः the personality of God, Vishwa, universe, Janma, creation, Sthiti, maintenance, Samyama, Arthe, with a view to perfect control, Krita, accepted, Avatara, incarnation, Pravrita, accomplished with, Shakti, potency, Chakara, performed, Karmani, transcendental activities, Ati Purushani, superhuman, Dhyani, all those, Ishvara, the Lord, Kirtan, please chant, Tani, all those, Mayam, we. Kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of God, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of cosmic creation. Samyama Artha, with a view to perfect control. So, to control the universe, he has accepted the incarnation, he has created, he has maintained, he has appeared in different incarnations, he has come with all the potency, all these transcendental activities are superhuman. So please chant unto me. I want to hear the transcendental activities of Lord. So Gyandeep Prabhu, his last verse finished.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Text 16. स विश्वजन्मस्ति संयमार्थे कृतावतारा प्रगहित शक्ति चकार कर्माण्यति पुरुषाणि ज्ञानीश्वरः कीर्तयतानि मह्यम्. Translation: kindly chant all those superman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Vidura was undoubtedly very eager to hear about Lord Krishna in particular, but he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna had just passed away from the visible world. He therefore wanted to hear about him in his Purusha incarnation, which he manifests with full potencies for the creation and maintenance of the cosmic world. The activities of the Purusha incarnations are but an extension of the activities of the Lord. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya because Maitreya could not decide which part of the activities of Lord Krishna should be chanted. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, you can stop here. Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavi So start from today. The reading session starts from today. Write that one. Reading. Put in already sincere also. Let them also read. New devotees were really interested. Put in that also. Okay. Reading Swadhyay as well as hearing. Put a little bit different message in LLP sincere. that hearing happens, hearing classes happens, one should join that also. Swati happens. Okay. I think in new group you should not put because they will come in different conclusions. Better is Tane is okay. Great.